Hey y'all, welcome back to SJGames Live. I'm Hunter,
I'm Jimmy.
and we are looking at Car Wars again. So we are kind of entering the March Madness tournament. You might have seen it in the title below or wherever you're watching it, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, not Twitter, but you know what I mean. We're going to be doing a bracket-style tournament in the upcoming month. So we're going to be fighting car versus car. Essentially, it'll be one-on-one style battles, and we're going to be moving along like a tournament. So whoever the winner is kind of moves up in the next bracket until we determine a champion.
Some Car Wars 6th edition duels.
Yep, Car Wars 6th edition duels, and we've got some new cards here that are a little more final. They're not the final cards; they are mock-ups of what the finals are going to look like, but it's very close. There might be a couple small changes.
We didn't print them here in the office. It's stick on things this time. Though.
They're not stuck on paper or anything like that. This is going to be the starter set component, so we have starter set components for all the different colors here. Me and Jimmy are going to be making our cars on air.
Oh.
But I wanted to mention we're going to do a few different things here. So we're okay, so sorry, Brandon had his suggestion. So we're gonna do a couple things. Me and Jimmy are going to make a car here. We're gonna have.
Okay, I'm really sorry. You gotta switch to that mic.
Oh, okay, so the mic's just not working. Oh, we got the other mic on hand anyway.
All right.
How's that sound?
That sounds way better.
Okay, sweet.
Way better.
So back to what we're saying. Me and Jimmy are going to be making a car here live with you guys. We're just going to show you what our process is on making it, the point values, stuff like that. We've kind of done this before on recorded videos, but we're going to be doing it again here live. Looks like Brandon's got some more bad news for us audio-wise. What do you got, Brandon?
Just keep going.
Keep going? Okay, so we're good. So me and him are going to be making cars. Randy and Philip are going to be making cars off camera. But in addition to those 4 cars participating, we're going to be posting on social media to have you guys make some cars out of that starter component.
The four is not enough for a real March Madness.
Exactly. We'll run the cars, either me and Jimmy or Philip and Randy, some combination of us will run those cars. But you guys will be designing the cars pretty much from the ground up. I'll be giving you the options on social media, so follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, and we'll be posting and sharing that information on how to do that in the next couple of days. So we're going to have that information online. We're not going to have like printouts of the cards or anything like that, but you'll have the point values and what they do, so you'll know what they'll be the same cards that we're using here.
Get some.
Sorry, just 1 second.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah?
Keep
Sounds good now?
All right.
Sorry, guys, we just have some audio cutting in and out. We want to make sure it sounds okay.
So the quick recap is we are going to be doing a Car Wars 6th edition March Madness tournament. We're going to do a bracket. It's going to be 4 staff members who build cars, and you guys are going to build some cars with Hunter on social media.
Yes.
And we'll run those in duels against each other throughout the month of March.
Yeah, it actually might bleed over a little bit into April. Maple.
Maple.
Close enough.
Maple Madness.
In the midst of that, while we're running that tournament, you're also going to notice that the Car Wars Backerkit will launch. So if you missed out on the Car Wars Kickstarter, about middle of the month of March, maybe even about a week or so in, we're going to be launching the Backerkit, so you'll be able to pre-order the stuff that you might have missed out on the Kickstarter, get the core games, get all this cool expansion stuff. Right now, we're going to be playing with core game material, but there is a ton that is on that Kickstarter. And we'll share all that stuff when that becomes live. You'll be seeing that in the description. Brandon will share those links whenever we get those later on in the month of March. But for now, let's go ahead and start digging through some cards. We're going to be showing some off on our camera too here as we go through them, but Brandon will cut to it as we get that. But really excited to finally be playing with some cards that have like the near final look of them, essentially.
Yeah.
We've seen some of these in the past, but not all of them. And some of the things have changed since the last time we played with them. So
Yeah, I haven't seen a couple of these weapons. So
I'm going to go ahead and throw this one up here because it's one of my favorites. We actually spoiled this on social media. One of Steve's favorite cards, the beer refrigerator.
Armored beer refrigerator.
Armored beer refrigerator. That one's actually a fun one. I might actually play with that just for funsies. So we're going to be playing 16-point cars. 16 points is a little bit more than what we've been doing 12 points in the past for the most part.
A lot.
But the one difference with 16 points is we need to cap out at 5 points per upgrade, essentially.
Yeah, any builds that are 24 points or less, you can't have any individual component that costs more than 5 points.
That does take a couple things out. Let's go ahead and show off some of those. So we've got the beer refrigerator. We can use it. This is a 0-pointer. We've got
the Hellfire here is right out.
The Devastator, unfortunately, is one that we can't use. And this is that since the point values are lower, the cars won't have as much actual armor behind them because your armor is based on what your actual point value is. You can add more to it, but you're generally going to be lower armored.
Your base vehicle is going to be less armored. So having someone spend, I'm going to spend 8 of my 16 points on one gun.
Yeah, to just punch a hole. So you shut off the Hellfire?
I got the Hellfire.
Well, I'll leave this one up here. So we got the Buffalo gun is one that we're not going to be accessing. But just so you guys see them, so since we're not going to be able to use them on the cards, you'll be able to see some of the cards themselves.
And no heavy rockets.
But we have a couple of fun ones that we were looking at. So this is the Thresher. You can leave some on top there, too.
I'm trying not to mix that.
Oh, you're good. The Thresher is a machine gun I think any of us have used before. I haven't even seen it personally.
No, that one may have come down from a different set, and this is
this is in the starter set. So all the stuff in here is starter.
I don't know if it was the ones they gave us originally for some of the old videos. I don't know if we had it there. And then we've got, of course, the Heat Saber, which is a big old fire weapon.
Oh yeah, that's a really cool one.
It's nasty.
So
it's got a white die on there.
Oh,
so you got a lot of double damages and a lot of double fire results.
Anything white die is going to be it's a little random, but it also can be
bursty.
It can have a high impact. Oh, and we got the heavy rocket, which I did use before in one of our higher point value games. Yeah. But the heavy rocket's a one-time, or actually I believe it's a two-timer on this one. Take an equip. Yeah, you get a second copy of it. It does a ton of damage.
Yeah, most of the rockets you get to buy by the pair.
Yeah. So we'll leave some of these high-cost ones on top here.
Yeah.
So you have access to see some of them.
Now, for going into this, so we're going to have 16 points for weapons, upgrades, accessories, and structure. So most of your stuff that goes in your car. We're going to have 4 points of armor on each side of the car, because that's 25% of 16. And then same thing, we're going to have 4 points for crew and gear.
Now, one thing I want to do for this tournament is we are going to have terrain rules in effect, because I want to emphasize the importance of all the stuff in this game, because we've played enough at this point where I think we can integrate some of our terrain rules, some of our the suspension, things like that. Things that we haven't really prioritized in the past necessarily might become more important going forward. So especially since one-on-one, the game should go faster anyway. So we are going to have terrain, something to keep in mind. If you build your car and you don't have suspension, you might be in a little bit of trouble. Or if you put a beer refrigerator on your car and you add... The cool thing with the beer refrigerator is it makes every single maneuver more difficult.
Oh, so but it's just a little bit...
every time you make
a little bit out of control for some reason?
It's every time you make a maneuver, you roll an additional blue die.
Blue's 50-50.
Blue's 50-50. It does give you 2 extra life for free, is the thing.
Okay, so it's pretty armored.
Yeah, so it's a little bonus, but...
So it's a little give, a little take. I like it. Yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to use one, but so is there any weapon that's drawing your attention?
Well, I hadn't decided on weapon yet, but because we've only got 16 points, I think I'm probably going to take a steel plate for 3 sides, but not... I'm going to probably leave the back open.
The back open, okay.
Or maybe the side. Probably only going to armor 3 sides just to get a little bit of more points for upgrades and accessories, because 16's a lean build. You got
sure.
Got to find savings where you can.
That makes sense. I'm thinking about doing a ramming car.
Okay, all right.
So that's the one you're looking at there.
So that's the steel plates I'm going to put on probably 3 sides of my car for a little bit extra defense rolls and a little extra armor.
Okay. I'd like this. This is pretty cool. The chassis brace, it's 1 point. The faster you go, you get an additional ace token just for going fast.
Oh, okay.
You get an ace token every time you do a 4 or 5. I believe it's make a maneuver at speed 4 or 5. Yeah. So you get 2 ace tokens. Now that's got a cool combination with the
radials.
The radials as well. But it also has a combination with the strength and undercarriage. Once per collision, I could spend 2. I'm just gonna steal that side just to have both of them on there. So you can instead of losing a control on one of yours, you can actually spend 2 ace tokens.
Oh, nice.
I'm curious. I want to kind of do a combo here. This looks like it could be fun. So I'm gonna start with those 2. So that's 3 points.
So you can. I mean, you take that, the undercarriage, and the safety cage.
Yeah.
You can make. I mean, if you're going to do a ramming car, you're going to put most of your stuff in your accessories, I think.
Yeah, because these are the upgrade. We got a wheels, frame, and frame upgrade. I think.
Oh, I think you can only have one upgrade per type.
You're right. Ooh.
Yeah, I believe it's 1 upgrade per category, which is why they're not accessories.
Yep. That makes sense.
So there's 3 frame upgrades. You can only pick 1.
Okay. Well,
that would be the safety cage, the chassis brace, and the
so am I
strength
going to go
undercarriage.
fast or am I going to go ram?
So if you're picking out among those, so they can see what you're deciding between, like you can only have one of those 3 on your car.
That makes sense.
Because they combo together great.
That's fair.
It's almost
what a great
combo. It's
combo.
almost like they thought about that and made it to where you couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, it's probably for the best. Last time I made a ramming car, I died. So,
well, I mean, you can still do it. Do we have any suggestions coming in yet on chat, Brandon?
I don't see any.
All right, cool.
Take 2 control. Each time you make a driving roll, you may pay 1 to more. I think I'm going to get the radials because I feel like for 2, just getting automatically 2 ace tokens every turn seems like a good value.
Yeah, it's a pretty good. I think I used those in one of the heavy terrain maps we did, and I liked those. And just having extra control, extra ace tokens helps. What do we have as far? I kind of like to look through the accessories and stuff and see which ones I really feel like I need. But
I mean, we've always been weapons first versus accessories first, and I haven't really had a chance to do a lot of cool accessory stuff. So that's kind of why I'm looking at the accessories, to be honest. There's targeting computer. We've got the dynamic suspension, which is something we've talked about before.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards that one because that's a pretty versatile.
Yeah, I've used that one in the past. That was a really good one.
You get 1 extra control and then more ace tokens based on the terrain you're in, which means you can be going slower and still have extra ace tokens to use on defense rerolls because you don't get as many dice to roll if you're going slower in the more difficult terrain.
Sure.
But it lets you go slower in that terrain and still get some rerolls on those dice. So I may take that one. That would get me up to 8 points.
Now here's some interesting ones. We've got 2 on here that I'm interested in because we got the super booster and the brakes, which I got the brakes and super booster there. They both do something similar, just on the opposite end of the spectrum. They both give you an automatic ace token, which is really cool. But they will also prevent power plant damage based on if you're using the brakes, if you drop your
tire damage and power plant damage. Yeah.
Or tire damage. One ignores the tire damage, one ignores the power plant damage from speeding up.
Trump and brake really hard,
exactly,
and not take the penalties for it.
Yeah, so I'm definitely starting with the radials. We got radials on me. So one thing I usually try to save points on are my drivers and my gunners.
Well, they have their separate point pool, and
they do have a separate point pool too. I forgot about that.
Keep that in mind.
And their accessories are in that point pool too, right? They're in that pink point tool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. So never mind. We don't have to save any points there. That's useful. Let's see. This Thresher is really tempting. It's 5 points, so that's a lot.
That's a lot of points. I'm thinking maybe
I might do the anti-tank gun.
I'm thinking what I'm looking at maybe is the anti-tank gun on the front. I'm going to clear these out.
Yeah,
here.
I'll take them.
Is put my anti-tank gun on the front of my car here, and then on the left and right have the heavy machine guns. So have some big punch on the front and then more narrow arc, and then but still some decent attacks on the left and right. Now that's 10 points right there, which is what I got left after the dynamic suspension and 3 steel plates. That'd be my entire car with those 3 guns, some armor, and a suspension.
Well, let's see. I'm gonna. I think I might forego the extra armor this time and try to go fast.
And just hope you speed as a defense.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get more defense dice in general, which is useful.
It's true.
It's
true.
So, and I've got there's some options here. So I could use a chassis brace, which is 1 point, gives me an automatic ace token, and then I get an automatic ace token every time I do a faster maneuver.
Right.
And I could also take a super booster, which gives me an ace token automatically, and then I can ignore the power play damage from accelerating faster.
So your goal is get fast, quick, and stay there.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Okay,
stay.
I could see that.
Could also take an undercarriage instead of the chassis brace, so you could
probably put points into your driver rather than your gunner. Then
exactly. It's a thought. I'm kind of interested because I've never done a go fast car. Usually, I'm pretty straightforward. I don't really do a lot of. I usually go like speed 2 and 3 and kind of hover behind people and shoot them down. But this could be a cool way of doing it because most of my better weapons are generally on the front. Now, if I keep them on the sides, I could try to circle the wagons.
Yeah. Well, your side firing arcs are wider arcs too. They're easier to keep on somebody.
Yeah, but the problem is you're almost always having to do a maneuver to keep them on somebody too. That's the catch.
and if you've got one pointed at somebody, the other one's not is pointed at nothing, especially in a duel. Which there's something to be said for. All right, I'm going to do two sides of my car with weapons and not worry about the other one. But then you can get stuck if someone, because then the rest of us are going to try to stay on that safe side if you do that.
I could also use the dynamic suspension, but this is already getting really expensive. That's 6 points there.
Like I said, the points stack up real quick, real fast on these.
Yeah.
You know what? I may take a little of my advice, and instead of 2 heavy machine guns, put basically a light on one side and a heavy on the other side.
I can see that. Here,
or would we do a light or a coil? Because lights are what? Lights are 1 point. It's 2 black dice.
I think I've got an idea here because if I'm gonna be up close with someone, I'm probably gonna have because I could do 2 guns on the front.
Yeah, and that gives you two options.
Yeah,
2 shots if they're only in your front arc, which is
so
important.
I have 6 points here, so that means I have 10 points left over to actually get weapons with, which is pretty important. I think anti-tank guns for their cost is probably going to be where I'm at.
The anti-tank is nice. I like it.
And then I'll throw 2. So here's my idea. So we've got chassis brace, radials, super booster, and then the dynamic suspension. Sorry, let's run out of space there. So what this is doing, it's giving me more ace tokens and more control to work with based on how fast I'm going. So that's my accessory pool, what we're looking at here.
Right.
And then my weaponry, what I'm thinking is 2 machine guns on the front. So they're not the best weapons, but they're black dice and they can do tire damage to people. And if I'm trying to go really fast, maybe slowing them down would be beneficial.
Yeah.
And then an anti-tank gun on either side.
Oh.
Have the stronger weapons on the flanks.
On the bigger arcs.
So that I'm able to kind of do some circling. Hopefully. That would be the idea at least. So that's my idea. So this is without any driving yet. So let's look at our crew members because you haven't done crew either, right?
I haven't. I'm still adjusting.
Sure. Well, while you're adjusting, I'm gonna look at some crew members. So we can't do the biggest point crew members because they're 6 points, but we do have. Is it a quarter for our crew members?
Yeah. So they 4 points for crew, 4 points for armor.
Okay. So since we're doing that, I am going to show you what a legend of each of those looks like while Jimmy's still looking at his stuff there.
I did math wrong earlier.
So that is one of our veterans there, and this is the other veteran, legend. Yeah. So we won't be able to afford the legends, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But the legends are generally really good. They're 6 points, but the veterans are what we can't afford, and these I might actually take because I've got a veteran driver. This is take 2 control take 2 ace tokens during the take control, and each time you pay 1 for a defense, you get an additional reroll. So I'm probably going to take that since I've got so much invested in my ability to get ace tokens. So since I'm taking that, that takes up all 4 of those points. I'm gonna have to take a rookie gunner, which doesn't really do anything for me, but you want a gunner just to be able to shoot
Yeah,
second
you
gun.
need a body to shoot the gun at least.
And with that, we'll take hand cannon because hand cannon is just a good alternate attack if you have the arc on it. Nothing crazy, just useful, good to have. So that's what we're looking at. The alternative is that you could go with an amateur, which is a 2-pointer.
You can go 2 amateurs or a veteran and a rookie, basically. Are
the amateur driver is pretty interesting as well.
I'm liking him.
He is tempting. It gets you an extra control and an ace token. But my veteran is going to get me the ability to use the ace tokens in a really constructive way, I think. So I'm going to stick with the veteran, I believe.
The veteran driver, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the veteran.
Have those extra defensive rerolls are nice, especially if you're not doing armor.
Yeah.
Like those are going to be really nice for you.
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do for my car is, as we talked about before, 3 sides steel plate. So front, left, and right, and we'll just try not to let anybody behind us.
Yeah, I'm not worrying about behind me, I think.
I mean, that will probably literally come back to bite me in the butt, but gonna put in the dynamic suspension because I like that free. There was a free control there. Yeah, extra control step. Extra control during the control step.
Sure.
So a little more fancy driving. And then that's 8 points. And then for my other 8 points, I'm going to have an anti-tank gun on the front and a machine gun, heavy machine gun on one side and a light machine gun on the other side.
Okay, so you're going more heavy on the front.
Yeah. I'm going to try to big it on the front. Basically, try to have 2 arcs, front and right or front and left, whichever I decide to build it.
Sure.
As the arcs I keep on people for my big guns, and then if they get on the other side, I still got a shot on them with a light.
Okay.
But in general, I'm going to try to keep those 2 arcs on people.
Makes sense. What do you got for?
So that's my 16 points right there.
Okay, so that's all 16.
All 16 points. For crew, I think I'm going to go with the 2 amateurs because I like the amateur driver gives the extra control and the extra ace token.
Now, one thing to keep
2 extra control around.
Sure.
Between that and the suspension.
One thing to keep in mind is we don't. There are things that cost points that are not.
Well, that's true.
You could use holographic sights, flak jackets, assault rifles as well.
Yeah, the holographic sight, it's nice if you're in close quarters, but it's harder to force that with 2 people, I think.
Sure.
The other person doesn't want to do it.
That's fair.
Which is why I'm not going for like flamethrowers, because those are nice, but also only range 2.
I will say, if you can get flamethrowers on people and they did not take the automatic fire suppressant, which neither of us did,
nope.
then it can be very brutal.
It can be, well, that's the other reason having 2 extra controller turns is going to be nice.
That's true.
In case there's fire. And then the amateur gunner lets me, when he attacks, reroll 2 dice. I think that's going to be better than like the assault rifle over the hand cannon would give me an extra
Black die, I believe.
As far as while we're talking about the crew equipment, we'll get it up here. So there's the hand cannon, which you get for free. And there's the assault rifle. So the assault rifle is an upgrade in that you get an extra black die with it, which is going to provides more reliable damage there. Mm-hmm. And the stars will turn into tire damage.
Yeah.
No, extra damage.
Extra damage on that
Extra
one.
damage. But I think for that point, I'd rather have the crew member operating the big guns than relying on the sidearms for it.
Yeah.
And then we talked about the other 2 crew gear cards that are in the base set here, which is the holographic sight, which improves your sidearms at close range, which can be real nice if you do a close range car, but that's not the style I'm going for.
I will say the flak jacket I've used a lot in the past, and it's been very useful.
Flak jacket can help. Lets your crew members take an extra hit. Basically, once you get through that armor, which happens quickly in low point games.
And once each, so that gives them each an additional health point, which is really good.
Yeah. The armor runs out real quick in the low point games, so that can actually keep your guys alive a lot longer.
Well, the other thing they can do is the beer refrigerator can keep you alive longer too for free.
It can. Is it on a side or is
it
that
an accessory?
It's an accessory. So that is on a particular
you have to put it on the side. You will put it on one side, but it also costs you the control points because you're carrying around a giant armored beer refrigerator.
That's true. That's why it's
exactly.
That's why it affects your driving.
It's swinging around.
It's the weight of the item in the.
It's definitely the weight of the item, and not the fact that it's holding beer. It's definitely that.
Holding less beer than it was when you started the match.
Hey, we do not support that. during
Keep it in the
auto
arenas.
duels. Yes. So yeah, I think that we've got a couple cars there. It looks like yours is a little bit more front facing. You're trying to joust a bit more.
Yeah. I'm planning to be a little bit longer range, and at longer range, it's a little easier to keep people in those firing arcs.
Yeah.
Which is also why I want more control, so I can maneuver and stay at those longer ranges.
And I'm trying to go fast. I got to go fast.
Yeah, you're trying to use speed as your defense.
And I've never done this before, so this is a new archetype for me. I've never tried the gotta go fast car, so we're gonna see how it goes. I might regret not having. I'm gonna give it some red sneakers.
Some red sneakers.
I may regret not having the driver that gives me an additional control, but I can use ace tokens in really cool ways, and I get a lot of extra ace tokens.
I think we're both gonna regret when Philip or Randy swings behind us.
I feel like, Randy's my nemesis at this point. He's been very good at taking me down. So
he's had a little bit of experience at the game since he designed it.
Yeah, it's almost unfair to be completely honest. So, but we'll have him in the game. Plus, when you're making a car, again, I'll be posting the information on all these cards online. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and you'll get information on this stuff. So you'll help us build cars. We'll be picking a car out from someone that comments, at least four cars. So if you want to submit multiple cars, that's fine. I can't guarantee we'll pick all of your cars.
Or we may do something by poll. Like, all right, do we want long range or short range? Do we want fire or tire shred?
Exactly.
Missiles or slugs?
So we'll have all the information. You don't need to submit anything right now. Just keep an eye on our Twitter and Facebook. We'll have all the information on all the cards.
We'll guide you through the choices so that you guys can help us design the other cars in the tournament that we're going to be fighting against.
So yeah, unfortunately, I'll probably be driving one of those for y'all, so I'm very sorry in advance. But fortunately, Jimmy and Randy and Philip will be driving the other three, so those will probably do fine. But yeah, are you happy with this car? You think?
I think that's. I'm reasonably happy with the concepts behind it. We'll see how it actually plays out.
What's the name of your car?
Oh, no, you can't ask me to come up with a name.
I need you to come up with a name.
No,
on the spot.
it'll take some time.
Jimmy,
I got to pick a name that goes with it, and then they got to be inspired.
No, I'm going to come up with a name on the spot.
Like that, like making like a role playing character. That's the thing that takes the longest. It's not making the characters, coming up with the name.
It's got to come from your heart immediately, like a bolt of lightning. And mine's the blue blur.
The blue blur. Wonder where that inspiration came from, Hunter.
It's hyper. It's just out of thin air. Nothing recently that's really not really done that for me. I came up with that on my own. I'd like to copyright it actually.
You might have a problem with that.
so we'll get those cars. We'll probably pick a model that kind of represents what we're trying to go for.
Yeah, we'll figure out of the ones we have. We'll see what fits best.
I don't know if we have a blue one that looks fast, so I might change it to whatever the color of that car is, and then the blur.
And the blur,
the purple blur, the green blur.
It's the blur. And
Brandon just fix that in post.
Edit in post, whatever the color is.
Thank you.
Edit in post on the live stream.
Brandon's saying yes, he will. He'll fix that for me. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, Jimmy will have a name for his, and plus y'all get to name y'all's cars. Please keep it family friendly for the most part.
Again, group naming.
Yeah,
stuff,
we'll pick some fun ones. That won't be a poll probably. That'll probably just be like, oh, we like that one.
Yeah.
We'll call it that. So.
Here's the car. You guys suggest names. There we go. That one.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have those as we go on. Like I said, we're going to start that next week. We'll have the first couple games. If we don't have the fan-made cards by then, that's okay because we're going to be doing a game a week. So 2 if we can fit them, but probably 1 game a week. Next week it'll probably be either me, Jimmy, me, Philip, me, Randy, or Randy, Jimmy, somebody like that. We'll have one of a combination of 2 of the things. We'll get a bracket online for you guys as well, so you'll see how the matchups are going to work.
We'll get like a fancy graphic up in here or down here.
Yeah, Brandon's already got it. Probably he's been working real hard on this. So yeah, it's probably popping up now. No, it's not. Okay, darn. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. No,
he doesn't have any names.
That's fair.
To put in the bracket.
That's fair. So, keep an eye out for that. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. I want to focus one thing on FNORDCon. Keep bringing it up. FNORDCon is coming up soon. This is coming up in the beginning of April. We are taking ticket orders now. You can get your ticket online at FNORDCon.com.
Nope.
Nope. Sorry.
SJGames.com/FNORDCon.
Sorry. And
actually, I believe late next week, I think maybe next Friday, or mid to late next week is the last days you can put in pre-orders for T-shirts or the silicone pint glasses.
Yes.
Branded with the FNORDCon logo.
Yes. And here's some
to pick
information
up
on that
at the
as well.
convention. Just to be clear, you can't get. We're not going to send these out to you. These are for if you're coming to the convention, you can pick these up.
We'll have them on site for you, so you can pre-order them. You'll get them on site, but you do need to pre-order them ahead of time because we are printing to demand. We're not going to just be printing one for everyone, so we might have a few extra on site if you miss out on it. But make sure you get those pre-orders in for the merch ASAP, please.
Yeah, because we got to order it so they can get here in time for the beginning of April when we're going to be doing this and playing a lot of car. You can actually come play the Car Wars with us.
Yeah.
And the TFT and the Ogre and
We'll have
all sorts of stuff.
We actually got the layout for the event space. It looks really awesome. We've got
Steve was over there yesterday checking it out.
Yep, Munchkin rooms. We've got RPG rooms where we're going to be running lots of the fantasy trip. We'll have Car Wars running. We'll have a lot of stuff running. We've got
Munchkin,
special guests.
lots of Munchkin.
Lots of Munchkin. We've got John Cavallic coming in as a special guest, so you'll be able to meet the artist behind the original Munchkin and lots of our other Munchkin stuff.
Yep.
We've got Ross Thompson from the Op coming in. They do a lot of our licensed stuff like DuckTales Munchkin or Marvel Munchkin. So you can check that out. And he's going to be demoing a lot of that stuff. And we'll have some new reveals, I'm sure, at the show as well.
Probably.
We're really excited about all that stuff. So yeah, you also just it's going to be a fun time. We're going to have a blast.
Yeah,
it's just you get to hang out with people that share interest in the games that you want to play. Plus, you get to meet the people that are behind the games. You get to play Steve, John, Andrew Hackard will be there.
Try to beat Randy at Car Wars.
Try to beat Randy at Car Wars. I still have a hard time doing it, but if you gang up on him, you can beat him.
It totally works when you gang up on him.
Yeah.
Go check some of our past videos.
Play a 3-on-1 and then have fun.
It's a free for all. It's totally a free for all.
Yeah, it's a free for all.
After we kill Randy, it's a free for all.
After Randy's out, you're good. But yeah, make sure you get the tickets now. We are running low on tickets, but they are still available. And pre-order your merch if you are going. Make sure you go to the same link. All that merchandise is there, so the shirts and the silicone pint glasses.
And hotel information's on the site as well. Basically, everything you need to know
is on
there.
the site.
Before we head out, do we have anything in comments, any questions or anything we need to answer for people?
Where'd you get your shirt, Hunter?
Where'd you get your shirt?
This is from frightrags.com. So I do a lot of advertisement for them because their shirts. Some people commented on my Monster Vision shirt from last week as well. The
kaiju shirt,
Joe Bob Briggs.
Joe Bob.
Yeah, that one's one of my favorites. So yeah, if you ever see me wearing like horror movie stuff, it's from them. But yeah, anything else?
Nope.
Cool, guys. Stay tuned for those instructions on how to build a car on social media. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.